Wan-Bissaka, how Jamaica could limit his impact. Join Premier 7 right now for the big chat. You can only win when your mind is stronger than your emotions. A powerful quote by our legend in a Bob Marley, as it links directly to the mentality that Jamaica should have should in case we face a DR Congo. In a realistic sense, it is of the expectations that Jamaica will beat New Caledonia and face Congo. And today I welcome you on board yet again with another video surrounding the Jamaica men's national team. You're seeing the topic here, Wan-Bissaka, how Jamaica could limit his impact. Here on the channel, this will be a tactical approach, seeing that without tactics, we will be blown away by any teams that we face. Now, the fact is that Wan-Bissaka is one of the toughest defenders Jamaica potentially will face. He's fast, he's strong, he's excellent in a 1v1. The fact is that Jamaica has limited experience against players of his caliber, but Coach Rudolph's speed could consider some realistic tactical adjustments to reduce his impact on the pitch. And that is the reason why Premier 7 is here as a future tactician in helping Jamaica to do the unthinkable. Now, people, just to say though, if this is your first time watching or listening to anything done here on Premier 7, I would love for you guys to subscribe, as Premier 7 is here with 2,748 subscribers. The road is to hit the 3,000 subscription mark. Please note as well, Premier 7 is this particular channel that presents contents in a unbiased manner. And those persons who are regular supporters of the channel could let you know that that is what Premier 7 is about. So people, please go ahead and subscribe if you're new, and if you are already a supporter, please like, comment, share the content so other persons can become engaged. Now let's analyze the problem. It is not a problem for Wan-Bissaka, but a problem for opposition players. So, why traditional wide players is going to be risky? Jamaican wingers love to hang on the touchline, and it is vulnerable when Wan-Bissaka will be played against because of his speed and his tackling ability. He's single-handedly one of the best 1v1 players in a duel. It's going to be very risky, especially with limited high-level match practice. Remember, the game that we played recently was against Grenada, and some of our key players were not in that, and the football wasn't all that. And even if we have our key players, we are not playing proper football. But what can Mr. Speed do? That is why Premier 7 is here, to supply some key information. So the thing is, how his movement will affect Jamaica. If he tucked in, he can intercept passes centrally. If he pushed up, he can overlap and dominate wide areas. That is something that we have to strategize and try to understand, people. Wan-Bissaka here on this diagram is a problematic player. Remember I said he's known for, because he's a right back, he pushed up, he's known for overlapping. Very good in terms of overlapping. And if he is pushed up, he can intercept very fast. So we have to be careful as to how we, get the ball at our feet and try to break down a New Caledonia. I'm talking about New Caledonia for what? It is of the expectation that we should beat them. So we're going to talk about, and still is talking about, a DR Congo. So Wan-Bissaka is the man that can drift in and he can overlap with his countless pressing ability. So Jamaica have to be very much careful. So key insight, Jamaica doesn't need to stop him completely, just limit his effectiveness. All right, so let me just recommend something here. And I hope that you guys are this far in the video, because if you missed this part, then how can we resolve any possible issue? So play narrow through the midfield and attack. We're going to need midfielders who can play compact, right? Narrow and impactful, right? So, in that case now, we would focus on vertical movements and central channels, play the ball through the lines. The midfield compactness would prevent Wan-Bissaka from exploiting the spaces. Remember the game against Curacao, our main outlet was a Ronaldo Cephas, and what they did, they used 2 to 3 players and shut him down, completely moving Jamaica out of the game to use their tactics. But we could have won, but you know what it is. We're still in this position trying to win some games. Another recommendation is that 2 attackers combine on the flank. 1 dribbler, 1 quick passer. We'll go back to this. So I hope you guys are looking. I'm going to use 3 players. So this is Wan-Bissaka, right? As the right back. This is Jamaican players. 2 players I'm going to use right here. Just imagine that the ball is there. All right. So 2 attackers. So Wan-Bissaka will be here, and 1 will be here. You have to use your pace and your tactics, right? So instead of trying to beat him on a 1v1, you 2 have to approach him like this. So quick passes, let's say in a triangle then, 4 players, right? Remember the Konya, Bruno, Luke Shaw. This is what we have to do then to get Wan-Bissaka out of the game. So 1 from the midfield, boom to this man, boom to this man, you're in. You have a chance to score. And that is just a visual representation of how we can neutralize a Wan-Bissaka. But let me just talk some more. So the compactness of the midfield with the 2 players that I have just utilized, it could be 2 central midfielders plus a DM, creates a protective spine, right? And also this allows Jamaica to maintain balance even if Wan-Bissaka tucks in and wants to overlap. We have to shut him down from that point, because I'm sure Congo is going to utilize him a lot if all goes well for his health, in terms of injuries, in terms of fitness. Now, Jamaica has to be in this mindset, right? We have to support our front 2. Let's say we're going to use a 4-4-2 in maintaining possession and control in the tempo. Jamaica need midfielders. We need midfielders to control the tempo of Congo. Remember them when I'm coming like Goliath, and we have to be the David in this situation. Note this now, Mr. Speed. Selective overlap. So left back can occasionally push up to strengthen the defense only when midfielders is secure to reduce counter risk. Right? So I'm saying some very key things here now. And I'm hoping that you guys are listening, because without the ears, then how can you execute? Right? So I will more so recommend a 4-4-2 formation against Congo, or a 4-2, a 4-3-1-2, reducing the impact of Wan-Bissaka coming or cutting in the midfield right there. And also, if we're using a front 2, then we will not be trying to use any wingers to swing in the ball. We'll try to play a bit more narrow to get him out of the game. Let him come in, trying to make a tackle and give away a penalty or 2. A practical example, wingers passing to central midfielders, returning the ball, while the striker makes diagonal runs, pulling Wan-Bissaka out of position. So we're going to use formation that can get this. If we're going to use, let's say then, we're we're not going to use any wingers. We're going to use our central midfielders. You know, let's say two forwards, one making a run, one pulling onto Wan-Bissaka. So when you look to make an approach to that one, the other one will run diagonally and the ball will go in his direction. I know it is going to be somewhat difficult for you guys to envision, but IQ is key. So we're going to try to force him out of the game by using our tactics. So the midfield compactness, just to remind you guys, allows Jamaica to retain position centrally and support attackers safely. I won't talk about the players in this video. I will mostly do a video on the players that we're going to use or should use to beat DR Congo, right? But at this moment, we're talking about how to prepare to get rid of a Wan-Bissaka from early. So just a note, Jamaica doesn't need to stop him completely, but just to make him less influential. So of course, people, Wan-Bissaka is a major challenge for Jamaica, but with realistic adjustment, narrow play, multi-players overloads, and a compact midfield, the team could limit his influence on the pitch. These are practical recommendations for Coach Speed to consider, and I think he's doing so already because remember he went to, in quotation, AFCON to watch Congo. How truthful was that? But it may not be guaranteed solutions, but it gives Jamaica a way to better choose how to control the game. So, I mean, people, your thoughts on the topic, Wan-Bissaka, how Jamaica could limit his impact. Remember, the goal is to 3,000 subscribers. But most importantly, this video is the one that I want for you guys to pay attention to. Let me know your thoughts and see how well we can use what we have to beat DR Congo. I mentioned David and Goliath. We have to find a way to beat them. So people, you all take care. Goodbye until we meet.